Hello, my name is Malik and welcome to another one of my tutorials. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on ZBrush, a simple tutorial on how to create holes in objects. The reason why I'm doing this tutorial is because of a subscriber whom I forgot his name, and I'm sorry about that. I'm going to actually go look through my comments and get whoever suggested this name and give you props for that. But for right now I don't quite remember. But I do remember your request. So I'm bringing this to you fairly simply. We're going to make this as simple as possible, and we're only going to use the simplest techniques. Simplest techniques is what's used in the industry. Most of the time they don't use anything too extravagant because they need things to be consistent across the board with all the artists and programmers and everything. So as many things that goes with the program that's simple, they like to use. So we're going to make it as simple as possible on how to create holes, and then you can apply that to any model or sculpting that you might be doing in the future. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start a new document. If you haven't already started it, I haven't. I have that junk there. And then we're going to go to your tools palette. And if your tool palette isn't here, you can go to the file menu, click on the tools palette, and drag this button right here, and you can push it over there. And that's how you get your tools palette docked to the right. And if you don't see this, then that just means these double arrows, this divide arrows. You click and it'll open and close that way. So what I want to do is I want to go to this tools palette, and I'm going to click on Sphere 3D. Actually, up here, Spheres 3D, and the standard is going to start off at 8,192 polygons, which is okay. We can use that. So I'll go ahead and click that, and I drag it out onto the screen. First thing I want to do is I want to hit T, or put it in edit mode. I want to make this a poly mesh 3D so I can edit it. I want to drag this up so that the polar points are on the y-axis. So I have this top part here and this top part here. Before it was like pointed straight at me, so I want it actually pointed up and down. Okay, so it's kind of boring. It's just a circle. We could make a hole in the circle, but let's manipulate this a little bit. I'm going to turn on symmetry. I'm going to go to transform, turn on symmetry. I want the z-axis. We're dealing with a circle. I want the z-axis, not the x-axis. I want to turn on radial symmetry. And I want to, well, first of all, radial symmetry allows me to have all these points. See all these points there? Let's say if I don't have radial symmetry on, I only get 2 points, and that's in the z-axis, you see, forward and back. Like if I turn this up like this, you'll see how it's always forward and back of the object in relation to the object, you see. Forward and back. But I want to manipulate a circle, so I want the whole thing to go at once. So that's why when I go to transform and I go to radial, now I get all these points and I can manipulate it all together. But I need more points for more resolution and more smoother way to mold this thing. So I'm going to raise this up. I'm raising mine to 50 or whatever. You can raise it as high as you want. More detail, more control. Now you see all these points that I have right here. Okay, so second thing I want to do is I want to hit S and increase my draw size. I'm going to go change my brush. I can do that several ways. I can hit B and change my brush to move, or I can just go here and change my brush to move, or I can hit the right mouse button and click on brush and then change it to the move brush. Once that's in place, I can start moving this thing around whichever way I want. keep in mind, depending on how you move your mouse, that's how it's going to manipulate the, the object. So you move it to the left, you move it to the right, it's going to do different things. It doesn't move to the left and it doesn't move to the right. It just molds it a little bit differently. This is where the actual Cintiq or any draw pad would actually be better than using the mouse. And the reason why I'm using the mouse right now is because a lot of people are still using the mouse in order to work these programs, because they're jumping from this program to maybe Maya or maybe Photoshop or something like that, or even After Effects. They're jumping between all these programs, and these days you have to be able to use all these programs in order to be productive in the industry or even in your own production. So that's why I'm kind of using a mouse right now, because this is a simple tutorial. It's just getting the idea across. So I'm not really trying to make anything amazing. Okay, so I want to even this thing out. I want to centralize. I want to make this thing, put it in the center. Okay, so I'm going to hit Shift and I'm going to drag. So it does it incrementally. So Shift and drag will snap it into place. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this. Now I want to take off the symmetry, because now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a mask, and then we're going to extract that mask. So actually, instead of me snapping it that way, I'd rather snap it this way. And then from there, I'll go ahead and expand that and then move it. Now, if you don't, you guys should know how to do this, but if you don't, what I did was the zoom is Alt and right mouse button, and then Control and right mouse button. Alt and right mouse button will let me move it, and obviously just nothing, and the left mouse button lets you rotate it. Okay. So I want to change this into my standard brush. Change my brush to the standard brush. I want to change, I'm going to hit Alt. Oops. I'm sorry, I'm going to hit Control and change this to the drag rectangle. And then I'm going to change my alpha to alpha 14, which is fine. And now I'm going to get rid of this symmetry, radial, and I'm going to turn this to ZX and turn off Z. There we go. And now I'm just going to drag. I'm going to hold Control and drag out. But first, I actually want to make this draw size a little bit smaller, so I have a little bit more detail. So I'm going to hold start here in the center, hold Control and drag out. If I drag in while still holding Control, it will take off the mask, and if I drag out, it will increase the mask. So this is good. This will give you an idea. Even if it's not coming out exactly the same way, this will give you an idea. So after I have the mask, I don't really want to extract this, because what it's going to do is going to extract an object from this, and there won't be it won't be the way we want it. So what we want to do is hit Control out on the outside and hit the right mouse button, because we want to invert that. Okay. Once we invert it, we go to our subtools and we hit Extract, and then you'll see it change. Once that happens, you can see you have your original, and then you have the original, and then the new extracted version. You go ahead and click that the original, and you can delete that. And now you have a hole inside of an object. And that's how you do it. You can do it on any object, and if you notice, what's so cool about this is it did not make a hole all the way to the other side. Now there's a way to do that, actually. Oh, there's many ways to do it, obviously. The most obvious way would be when you're making your selection, your mask, you just make it symmetry. That's all. Symmetry on the y-axis. So thanks for watching, and that's how you make holes, and have a hole of a time, and make as many holes as you want, and don't mess around with other people's holes. Make your own, and take that whichever way you want. And if you have any more suggestions, go ahead and email me, go to my YouTube videos and watch more of my videos so that I can have more time to make whatever you want me to make or find information you want. If I don't know how to do it, I will find out and I will direct you to the right place. So thanks for watching, and I see you guys next time.